for Alliance. You're going up against eHome, who've got the Sand King, the Mirana, the Shadow Demon again, and then there's this certain hero that kind of makes this combo even better, and it's an Elder Titan.
Yeah, it's for me going to be a rough game for Alliance. I think that eHome have all the tools that they need to be able to take down like heroes like PA. If you look at the way that MVP like to play it, they often pick it when there's not a lot of hard disable and there's not a lot of magical burst damage. But in this game on the side of eHome, they kind of have both. So the Starstorm from the Mirana, obviously Arrow, Epicenter, Burrow Strike, you know, even Sven Stun. There's a tremendous amount of lockdown and no save, so in order to play PA in this game effectively, you have to be very careful about how you choose fights, and not only that, but as the panel mentioned, it's going to be very difficult for Loda to find an easy lane to be in. Against any melee, Sand King is going to be great. He's going to be Caustic Finale skilled. You know, if they want to try to go aggro to dodge the lane of the Sand King and just try to pressure the Sven directly, they can also choose that path. It looks like where everyone is right now, it'd be likely that the Alliance decide to do that, but in the grand scheme of things, the pick can still work. And they're not really going to be able to kill the PA if she gets like a decent item progression and BKB comes out at a decent timing. It's just, can Alliance get that early game? Can they get the advantage they want?
Absolutely. I mean, as you said, if eHome do get ahead of Loda before he gets the BKB, you look at Alliance's draft in terms of saves for a core, there's not a lot. I guess obviously Savage Raw from the Lone Druid can help them out in some of the fights, you know, getting eHome away from Loda. But indeed, this is quite a test for Alliance. We saw that they did have some strengths at the beginning of Game 1. They're certainly going to need to step it up here in Game 2. I mean, overall, talking about Alliance's draft, do you like the way that they changed it up, coming in with something pretty different to what they did in Game 1?
I mean, I don't really think that their plan was the problem. I think that they just needed to push a little bit earlier and maybe itemize differently on the bristleback. But outside of that, I thought it was an okay draft, if not a good draft. But this one is a little bit, I think, harder to run personally against what eHome has. But it's not to say that it can't work. They just need to make sure that the laning phase goes swimmingly. And the way that they've kind of put them together right now, going to dual lane mid, I like this. It means that Old Chicken is going to not really have the greatest of times, but he did kind of anticipate that he was going to be laning against the PA because he started with the magic stick. So even if there's daggers being thrown out for harass, he should be okay. I don't really see him dying.
But overall, in terms of lane matchups, like a game when you like the way that Alliance managed to find the lane combinations, or are eHome a little stronger this time?
They should be fine, honestly, in both of these lanes. If everything remains static, I think mid and top will both be okay. But yeah, I don't really see eHome being able to get a kill on this top lane at all, because it's a Shadow Demon and your Sven's most likely going to only have level 1 stun for a while. You just expect Ice 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 to level that Great Cleave, so I see pretty much no kill potential there. Alliance, on the other hand, they are going to be rotating up Ake.
Gonna make a bit of a go on to Fenrir, looking towards the Shadow Demon, yet to skill, now skills the Disruption, holding back one of them, but Ake looking to follow through, and he's going to get himself first blood. Ake with a top-notch rotation up towards the top lane. Indeed, looking to punish eHome's weakness in this early laning stage that they have there. As you said, already going to be a hard lane for the SD and Sven to get stuff done in the early levels. And Alliance, they're able to make the most of that. Bottom lane though, on 11. And in rather deep onto Bulldog. You can have Old Lanham coming in as well. Bulldog is to be in trouble. Spirit into the stomp. One more touch from the Sand King. And eHome with to punish Alliance elsewhere across the map. S4's come down. Gonna look to start to stack up the napalm on Old 11. And Old 11, he's not got any points, of course, at this stage in Sandstorm. So S4 with a good TP to make something off the back of Bulldog's death and getting himself a tasty bit of gold in the bank. Already 2 minutes in, he's sitting on 900 gold.
Yeah, really nice movement. And the nice thing too is, even if S4 stays down here, Bulldog can just stay in the top lane now with EGM. And a Lone Druid plus Ogre lane is going to be an absolute nightmare for eHome. Like, there is zero kill potential on this lane. An Ogre with that much armor and health and a Lone Druid on top of that. Interestingly enough, Bulldog actually doesn't have his bear for about a minute.
Hang on, is this Elder Titan going for the courier? He just
has
come
a
down with a
haste.
haste. Oh, here we go.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Oh, and he makes it out as well. Old Lanham, what a play. He's just taken away someone's boots as well with that one. Hey, Old Chicken. He needs to... Oh, he's got stick charges. He's fine. He's fine.
Yeah, Loda doesn't have Blink Strike yet. He's only level 3, so... If he has it, maybe he goes for the kill, but just playing it a little bit safer and obviously dealing quite a bit of harass to the Mirana during this stage. But Alliance, again, you know, the laning phase isn't going too shabby for them. Bulldog was suffering a bit.
S4's in trouble. Old 11. Oh, he hasn't quite got the mana for another Burrow Strike. He will in a few seconds. He may not even need it, but S4 playing around with this one. 2 mana off Burrow Strike. Yeah, Old 11's just going to have to use it to get out. Very fortunate there for S4 that that Burrow Strike wasn't available, otherwise that Barret would have been dead.
For now, they're just really concerned about getting farm on these heroes on the side of Alliance. eHome, they've once again picked a lineup that has good kill potential at pretty much every stage if they have enough heroes around. The only one who's not really offering a bunch is the Sven, because low-level Stormhammer just doesn't really do that much. So Loda gonna dodge the Stomp here.
Hold on to time being, looking to just harass Orlando back. BD on Loda as well, so if he gets a chance to make a jump in, I'm gonna go for it. At the moment, just harassing old chicken back. CS-wise, as we can indeed see, because of the presence of Ake, it's been going very well for Loda in the mid lane. 21 for 7, top of the CS at the moment, and well ahead of the Mirana. The mid lane going very nicely. We've obviously seen old Lanham started to look to put a bit more pressure on the mid with the presence of the other type. Moving in on old chicken and Alliance, continuing to make the mid lane go even nicer for them. Kill as well for the two of them. This mid lane matchup is certainly hurting eHome hard.
The DD Ruin plus the Ancient Seal combination is crazy. The problem that eHome are having right now is their support, Shadow Demon, can't really do that much for the team. Like, if he rotates mid, sure, he'll be able to save situations like that. Maybe old chicken doesn't die, but then your spend is almost guaranteed to be getting nothing out of the laning.
Oh, and here comes old chicken, missing the arrow, uncharacteristically as well. We saw how well in game one eHome were able to hit combos time and time again, but a little bit slow off the mark there. Loda, he gets away with his life intact because of that blunder.
A very uncommon misplay, but sometimes stuff like that happens. Loda will be happy for it, I'm sure. I guess the biggest story right now is the fact that the Sand King is getting so much. If you look at the net worth, he's actually leading right now, even though the CS isn't at the top of the board. He gets an earlier blink timing than he did in game 1. So we saw how effective he could be on the Sand King before, old 11.
Old 11 Sand King is...
And I think the only reason they didn't ban it is because of the mix. They had the last ban mix instead because they picked Batrider.
It's a nice stack here. We'll see who's able to get their hands on it. Looks like S4 might see clear most of it with the perfectly napalm stacks. And he will get the lion's share of it. 11 and Old Lanham coming across. We're seeing if they can catch S4 out. I want to play this Old 11. Vision from Old Lanham Spirit now jumping in. He ends it as well. The fire blast. He can't get damage. Too much for S4. Chicken makes his presence known as well. They will get that Batrider kill.
Stun from EGM, which is a tiny bit late. Maybe even like half a second sooner, and they potentially could have kept the Batrider alive. Center rotation though, coming in from eHome, making use of the epicenter once Old 11 got his levels.
So I saw this is happening, just more and more space for Loda in the mid lane. Actually caught out by a decent arrow. Old chicken, Ake is there to help out. And indeed Loda will be fine. eHome bringing in 3 heroes to the mid lane as well. Worth noting as well, this game round, Ice on the Sven, he's having a lot better of a start in the lanes compared to game 1 on the Juggernaut. You know, he's up there at the top, 36 CS. Hasn't had as many issues as he did earlier on in the series.
Yeah, I mean a lot of it was the babysitting that he was doing for the first couple of waves. You kind of need it. Like, he started off against the Batrider and the Ogre, then he was against the Ogre and the Low Druid, both lanes. Not really the best for him. But he's managed to make
Dire's
best of a not so great situation and maintain a really good level of farm, which is great, because during the mid game, you know, even if you get a lucky cleave onto a couple of heroes, you don't really have to hit the PA directly. You can just hit like the bear or something and kill the PA in that way. Yeah, I think given the state of the game and having that extra Warcry armor as well against stuff like PA and Lone Druid is going to be great.
And in trouble, 3 heading down. Family Lanham ready to back up Old 11. Again, on the Ogre, maybe tanky, not quite tanky enough to live through the damage that eHome are doing already with this combination of heroes. And this is something that we can expect to see again and again as eHome make these rotations, ready to use the fantastic synergy that their hero picks up. Bring down Alliance's heroes.
They just have so many disables. It's like, you get hit by one thing, you're gonna get arrowed, you're gonna get stomped. Even a Sven stun potentially when ISS start coming to fights. It's just... eHome always build their lineups to be able to fight at any stage. Because that way, you know, if a lineup has a specific power spike timing that you need to worry about, eHome just fight you before that point, or they fight you after they have their core items. It's a very flexible type of draft that can do a lot of different things.
And the old chicken with an invis. Doesn't look like it'll be able to do anything, but just You had a bit of wrath onto those. Immediately acting, forcing old chicken to jump back. And at the same time, Alliance. Spore and Ake ready to make a move up top. Ice is alone. See how far he comes out at the moment, staying right by the tier
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Kept
attack.
the lane equilibrium very nicely by the tower. So see how far out he comes with this next wave. Come out to bite him back pretty hard. S4 getting in position with the Firefly, and they'll start to close the gap to the Lasso. Can't get it on in time. Ice still managed to hold him back, and Fenrir presence is made known. As with a disruption, holds back S4 and eHome, making it very hard for Alliance to get the kills that they need.
Blink Dagger now done on the Sand King as well in the meantime, while they were fighting that top little engagement. So, you compare the 15-minute Blink Dagger of game 1 that Old 11 had versus a 9-minute Blink Dagger, I'm assuming he'll have a lot more impact than we can see here.
Yam again, caught out alone. Old Chicken, Old 11.
Dire's
An
middle
easy
tower is
kill
under
for the
attack.
boys on eHome. And they may not be done quite yet. Old 11, of course, with that blink, making the move towards the mid lane Alliance. Gotta be careful, there's an epicenter at the ready as well. Okay, hunting the tree line, waiting for some kind of counter attack. Tries to jump on 11. S4 is there as well with the lasso, and that's a big catch. 11
Radiant's bottom
will be
tower
taken
is under
down.
attack.
Alliance making sure that they don't let eHome get the better of them once again.
Yeah, not letting the Sand King get anything off there, and obviously not being able to make use of the epicenter with the fresh Blink Dagger is going to be great for Alliance. But, I mean, during this time, the Ice on the Sven is going to start to get to a point where his farm rate's going to just accelerate more and more. You're going to have to worry about that during the mid game, because Admiral Bulldog still kind of wants Radiance before he fights. And this Sven's just going to be hitting creeps the entire time. They got the Ancient stack going as well. I think Alliance are kind of under pressure here to make something happen.
Mid lane, where they try something, but at the same
Radiant's
time,
middle
eHome,
tower is under attack.
Old Chicken, Old Lana, Ice ready. Same time, top lane, this man is just a little bit too damn good on the Sand King. 4.7k net worth, top of the board, making the plays happen. We knew it was going to get painful when we saw Alliance letting him get his hands on it again. And so far, that certainly seems to be the case. Constantly finding the perfect chances and opportunities to jump in on Alliance.
Yeah, it's definitely been a consistent issue throughout game 1 and game 2. He's going to continue to get even more farm. Like, he takes one of the large camp stacks. He's halfway to his 4 staff already, and it's only been like so.
Radiant's
He's hitting
top
around
tower
500
is
plus
under
CPM.
attack.
Hitting a really important kill on Bulldog after the Midas was done, and Bulldog doesn't even have a bear for another 50 seconds. Like, that's painful to be in a lone spirit in this situation, especially considering the bear is the thing that's carrying his Midas.
I mean, looking to
Radiant's
Loda
top
on the
tower is
PA,
under
definitely the one player at the
Radiant
moment on Alliance
structures
that has
are fortified.
the most space in the laning stage and has got a decent amount of farm. I'm interested to see what he does build up. Does he need to go for the straight BKB, or do you expect there's still a chance Loda may go for something else first?
What we've been seeing a lot is the Deso Rush and then into BKB, just so you get that bonus damage, and you have to take the fight very carefully.
Jumping in! Taking the invis in front of him as they murder him.
Oh god.
Picks like this, it's why eHome are seen to be the absolute beast of a team this TI. Any slight mispositioning from a player and they immediately make the jump. They're always there, ready to pounce. Now, Bulldog himself has to be a little bit careful.
Radiant's
you can
middle
see
tower
eHome just
is under attack.
hungry for action, just cutting their ways behind this tier 1. At the same time, they're sending on Lanham up. There's 4 heroes coming up to Bulldog. He's got a TP. I mean, if he senses something, he'll head to the sideline of TP, but he's in trouble.
Epicenter just came
He's
up.
heading back. Let's see. Get the vision with the spirit. Old 11 indeed. Looks like he is going to be he's going to be fine this time.
Actually surprised they didn't go for that. Maybe because he... Oh, lasso.
Absolutely, and straight into the Scarf Mage. Nice pick from Alliance. Actually going to be the ones this time to outwit eHome. Exactly what Alliance need.
Dire's middle tower is
Make
under
sure that
attack.
eHome waste their time and Alliance make the most of their own.
Radiant's top
And
tower
also
has
Bulldog
been
able to get the
denied.
deny on the tower, so potential huge disaster averted on the top lane. Alliance still holding in strong. And is this, I mean, at this point, is this exactly what Alliance needs to do? They just need to hold their own. let the Bulldog Lone Druid get the space that he needs to get that Radiance timing, as the draft was saying, and kind of just play around this Lone Druid pick.
I mean, you really want the Radiance before you start taking fights, there's no doubt about that. But it just depends on how long it takes versus, you know, eHome continually applying pressure. You look at the first game, Alliance decided to farm, and they eventually get picked apart by the Sand King, the Shadow Demon Mirana. Well, eHome have that same lineup for the heroes, so if you keep playing split-up game, there's an equal opportunity that you're going to continually get picked off again. It's just a matter of if Alliance can dodge those pickoffs long enough to get those core items up.
Well, DB Rune in the bottle has picked up the first for Hammer. Indeed, if it is going to be the Dessa build or the BKB, we'll see how he goes. Then up top, eHome takes down Alfredo. They should be able to do it. Find the bear of Alfredo Bulldog. Let's have a resummon immediately, of course, gets it straight back out. Mid lane, as we can see, EGM and AFK ready in case eHome jump in onto either load or S4, but it's not going to be the case. Now they themselves go for a play. At the same time, Ice picking up himself a very hefty Ancient stack. Alliance, they're going to come too late for the Ancients, but they may be able to punish him whilst he's low, and indeed, S4 jumps in, Ice down the silence, the multi-kill! Loader gets the double kill, and a perfect bit of play there to give Alliance the boost that they need.
Really good read from Alliance, knowing that stack was going on. Oh, they had the ward. Okay.
Yeah,
so yeah,
it's good warding.
They saw the stack being taken down. Nice little smoke maneuver there. They get a bonus kill as well. Fenrir trying to go in to save. Looks like eHome aren't going to take that one on the chin though.
Absolutely, they don't even feel that they need to wait for Fenrir and Ice. They know between these three heroes, they can do an insane amount of damage. Epicenter at the ready. That's what the jump is like. Old Levin finds Loader, but immediately the Epicenter pull up as well. Loader in the arrow hits as well. They found the PA. EGM going for the TP. They've got anything to cancel the S2. The stomp from Lanham there. And Alliance, as quick as they find 2 kills, will be quick to give away 2 of their own. Old 11 finds the double. This game is currently shaping up to be a bit of a bloodbath, back and forth action. Still, as we can see, it's the Sand King that sits
middle tower
at the top as the king. And Aghanim is, of course, going to be coming at a very, very respectable timing as well. See, during all of this, top lane, Bulldog did get a bit of space for the Lone Druid. eHome. Keep the pressure on. Ice for the Echo Saber done as well, so he himself in terms of the fight to be able to do that bit more. Just 500 gold away from Old 11's Aghanim, so.
I guess for Alliance right now, it really is about the Lone Druid, but Bulldog's getting 3,000 gold, so he's getting closer and closer to that relic. Once the Radiance is out, I would really like to see Alliance try to group up and do something. Lita is also going for the Rush Deso build that we saw QO doing on the side of MVP when they were playing the Phantom Assassin. And it's a really strong build because if you get a lucky crit or you dagger and then you go in and you get a crit on an auto or something like that, you can blow somebody up pretty fast. It's a solid build, but it also relies very heavily on being able to get kills after the Deso is done, so that way you can quickly get your BKB.
Mid lane, Alliance looking to jump in onto Old Adam and KNS4, the combo working out. Themselves another pick.
Alliance really haven't been able to make much of their picks do anything though. Bulldog's playing a very safe farming game, and he's the one hero that you're looking at to say, okay, let's hit some builds. But he hasn't really been doing that, just trying to get to the Radiance as fast as he can.
See the 3 members of eHome, really trying to find something at the setup. To Loader, Epicenter as well. Loader jumps across the way. Turning up as well. Takes down Loader. S4 in trouble. Flame breaks Ice away from him. Trying to hide in the trees. S4 gets the blink on. S4 pulling eHome away from the objective. And they actually finish off the kill eHome. They're chasing him. They're going to have vision on him now. Old 11 gets the first strike off. They will clean up the back. eHome trying so much at this point. Coming out on top and consistently pulling off the plays. Top on Lanham. He's just going to drop the ult. The TP's coming through. eHome! Absolutely perfect. And that was before he'd spent his relic gold. He's still got enough for the relic, but he lost a clean 400 off the back of that Bulldog.
That was a nasty combination right there. Stomp at the Earth Splitter arrow.
Fenrir may have been left alone. There's not going to be a lot of safe for him. You do see Ice coming across. Maybe he can look for the counter play. Ice, does he want to jump in now? He realizes Fenrir is gone. Going to back up. He's not going to try and help him out there.
Yeah, he's not going for the blink, which I think is a little bit interesting. We'll get a chance to watch that
this
top
combo
again, yeah. I mean, the Earth Splitter guarantees the bear's gonna die, so Bulldog takes a lot of extra damage. The arrow comes out, hits him. Actually, I think it hit him before the Earth Splitter actually did damage, so... Yeah, the Star Storm on top of that. Way too much, even for the tanky low druid to deal with.
Roshan is do you expect to see one of the teams try for Roche at this stage? Is it key to the way that eHome want to play? Can Alliance sneak it from underneath them?
I mean, Alliance can do a very safe Roshan and a pretty fast one, but in regards to sneaking it from eHome, I don't think that's a thing. And plus, you have to worry about like Blink Epicenter in the pit. They have an Elder Titan and Moonlight Shadow. So getting yourself into a position where you feel safe going for Roshan against eHome is going to be pretty difficult for Alliance at the moment. I mean, all things considered, they're still getting pretty decent farm in their cores. Like the PA, the Lone Druid, the Bat Rider, they all have a good amount at this point. They're still waiting for those big key items. You know, that we just saw the completion of the Desolator on Nota not too long ago. And we also saw that, you know, Bulldog is only about 1,000 gold away from his Radiance at this point. The question is, are those items going to be enough?
You know, moving as a pack now, the full 5-man. At the same time, Alliance, they're together as well. Old Chicken has found himself a double damage ready for this next fight, and indeed with the Moonlight, eHome certainly looking to get something done around the middle. To get the jump in, indeed they found EGM first. Oh, the ambush again.
Radiant's middle tower
Combination
is under
from
attack.
eHome, bringing down members of Alliance.
Radiant's
Dota.
middle tower has
I mean,
fallen.
dabble around with the dagger. S4. We're seeing if you can get a jump, but at this stage, it's jumping into 5. It's a bit of a death sentence, so Alliance just back off. We're still going to be careful, though. We've seen how far Old 11 is willing to initiate from. He may even initiate into the base.
Dire's
gone
bottom
to
tower is under
presence
attack.
there. They'll get the vision with the arrow.
Radiant's
Just
middle
creating
tower
space
is under
for
attack.
Ice to take down the tier 2. Again, these arrows hitting from a mile off Loader.
Dire's
Held
top
back.
tower is under attack.
EGM back up in a
Dire's
couple of seconds.
structures
But
are
already, the
fortified.
damage being done to this tier 2. He's still just 200 gold away from that Radiance. They really need it on Bulldog's bear.
A disruption.
See if they can do this, though. Indeed, it may play against them. Yes, with the old with a bit
Radiant's
of a
middle
blunder,
tower is
and
under
it cost
attack.
them Ice's life.
I think maybe eHome were assuming that Alliance were going to try to fight them.
And may still, but again, another. What's happened to eHome? A couple of mistakes. Alliance will be very happy with that one, not losing
Radiant's
anyone, getting a
middle
kill.
tower
Now
is
the
under
Radiance
attack.
is done. eHome, make sure that they don't start to fall apart at this stage. It's certainly have created the dominance at the start. The Alliance, not a team to allow another one to walk over them. They punish eHome hard there. Oda continuing to try and find the space as he can. He's only 1k behind Ice is spent. On top of the Deso now, do you imagine we'll definitely see him going for the BKB, or is it going to be a full-out aggressive build from the PA?
I mean, some people like to go Vlad's and then BKB, but I honestly feel like without Magic Community in fights, he's just going to explode. Like, I think BKB is mandatory at this point, if you want to fight.
Exactly. In, Old 11 looking to jump in mid. Bulldog safe for the time being, and yeah, the Evo using their tools, but not finding the initial pickoff. And they're sticking around for the long haul, but EGM looking like they're jumping in EGM down, but at the same time, they've lost the Sand King, and another trade that Alliance are going to be very happy with. And eHome just not hitting the exact combos that they need to in these fights. So they don't get anything more. They're still coming around, jumping forward. Bulldog, he wants to pull as well, but the Savage draw off. Looking at that, Fenrir, looking to hold him in place with his trick, but Ice. The
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Alliance chasing down from all the stop from all enemies there. Bursting them down quickly. eHome recovering control of this fight. Fenrir may just tick down, and he will. But
Radiant's
Alliance,
bottom tower
they
is
are
under
bringing
attack.
down members of eHome with them. That's for sure.
It's a very scrappy engagement from both teams, just taking a
Radiant's
disjointed
bottom
fight,
tower
losing
is
the
under
Sand King on
attack.
top of the hill. wasn't really able to accomplish a whole lot inside of the fight itself. Alliance gonna be okay. Like they did lose, I guess, a Lone Druid and a PA, so ultimately, I think that eHome are probably fine with it, because they traded Sand King, Fenrir, and then Ice for that. It's okay still. Especially considering the fact that they're the ones who maintain the map control.
And indeed, as soon as that comes on board, Esfor immediately jumping in, multi-gun, just outside we actually said, I'll back into that for you, an old 11. Called out by Alliance. Immediate pings on the board, as eHome went full for that trap again. But Alliance composing themselves very nicely with their backs pushed against the wall, as eHome had started to do so with their team fight and just combos that they were hitting.
He was kind of on his own on Alliance's side of the map. You kind of have to expect at some point that if you just get forced back and the rest of your team is still respawning, you're not really going to have any backup.
Alliance, now is 4 men to take the tier 1 from top.
Dire's top tower is
around
under
towards
attack.
the bottom. Forward defending at the moment.
Dire's top
Bulldog
tower
takes the
has
tower,
fallen.
and already we can see, you know, with the Midas, with the Radiance, Bulldog starting to get into position in terms of network. He's the position that he needs to be,
Radiant's bottom
nearly
tower is
on
under
the same
attack.
level as Ice. This progression, he's soon to be above.
We talked about the importance
Radiant's
of the
bottom
Radiance
tower
timing
has
against
fallen.
eHome's lineup.
Jumping on TGM, TP's coming through from eHome. Alliance is still around here. Looks like they may just have EGM. Let him go, but EGM is going to make this hard for eHome. Moonlight pops as well. Oh, he's got the TGM. He's going to make it. It's a sweet attack from EGM. eHome, of course, not going to let that happen. The rest of Alliance get themselves away.
Those moves are actually okay. Like, is Zaka gonna solo die to Fenrir here?
Purge has been dropped down. Rip. Going to follow in. The poison stacking up. Wasn't quite enough. Narrow, though. Good, he's good. He's back. And Debo looks a bit loaded with the Mithril Hammer picked up, looking to get that
Radiant's middle
BKB done, so he's in a
tower is
bit better
under
of a
attack.
fighting shape.
Radiant's middle tower
Ready to jump
has
in against
fallen.
eHome. That's complete.
If he gets BKB, he can just jump on Fenrir right away. He can force a defensive disruption. He can do the same thing to Lanham, but Lanham has a force staff, so it'll be a bit more tricky, I think, for him to stick a target. Just gonna basically mean that during fights, until magic immunity is down, you more or less can't kill him. The only physical damage on the side of eHome is the spend, and making sure that you're hitting something else and not the heals to ensure that you can cleave is fairly difficult. So it's still going to be a while before Ice builds anything like MKB if he wants to really go for that hard counter against the
S4 BKB done, so his jump in is going to be a little bit easier for him to pull off. We've already seen him make the big lassos, punishing anyone on the side of eHome. He'll come out alone. Game 2 certainly looking a lot better for Alliance in comparison to the way Game 1 was going at this stage. More of a hope. He's around with the Roshan, not really fully committing. Alliance, they're smoked up and making a move over. BKB done on Loader, so a bit of a power spike for the side of Alliance that's allow them to go head to head with eHome in the team fights. See how they're able to utilize it.
These items, I think. Well, obviously you want to bring detection, but testing Roche would be such a nice thing. Fresh 10-sec and BKB on 2 heroes would be like one of the best times to fight eHome. Assuming they don't get caught first.
eHome, yeah, if Alliance lose one member at the start,
Dire's
it
middle
could be
tower.
really painful, especially with Esfor, but gets the BKB on Loader, jumping on towards them for the defensive disclosure from Fenrir, but he can't finish up the kill. Now back towards Fenrir himself, but the Elder Time holds, patching him out, slowing him down. Loader can't finish up the kill. eHome surrounded, takes him down. Loader's out, and Alliance, they may just lose more. Ake dropping the Mystic Flare, but he's still going to get the kill. Chicken with a double kill. Ice pulling very, very down. eHome with a third, maybe more. Zone 11 shifting forward to S4. EGM scored out of the tree line. eHome find a fourth, and S4 the only one to get out by looks of it, but he may not even do that as Zone 11 still has a burrow strike. It looks like he's going to blink back. But not the fight that Alliance were looking for, and in fact, they may just lose S4. Old Chicken jumping across. I was going to go through, but of course, not going to reach S4 as he will TP back to base. But what a painful engagement for Alliance, where eHome played it perfectly, and Fenrir just kiting loaded up so much that the PA just couldn't get the kill under the duration of that BKB.
Yeah, we'll get to see the opening here. Fortunately for S4, he's able to pop the BKB before the arrow hits. But
Radiant's middle
there's one thing that
tower
goes
is
really
under
well for
attack.
Alliance is they pull the Sven out of the fight. Like S4 blinks back in, but this whole time, like Loda's trying to just catch anybody that he can. But the problem is he's getting kited around the trees way too much, and he's walking away from the vision. So by the time his BKBs, like it wore off, but there was no way that they could see the rest of the.
And they
heroes
nearly
inside
kill
of
Ice
the
Ice
shadow.
Ice.
Yeah, they almost kill him, but the reality is he was trying to fight when he had no vision there. So.
Fenris plays, indeed,
Radiant's
game 2
top
with these
tower is
disruptions.
under attack.
Each and every time there to save a member. Team.
It's a really bad sign when you have two 10-second BKBs against the kind of lineup that eHome are running and then you still lose the fight. That is really, really bad news.
And suddenly, as we can see, top 3 net worth all over on the side of eHome. I need to look very, very scary for Alliance, similar to the position that they were forced into in game 1. And how do they get around that? Is it just the fact that eHome got the jump? To Alliance, they need to find the jumping onto the backliners. They need to take the Shadow Demon out of the fight for a start.
Yeah, you really want to have vision around the area that you're fighting if you're going to be playing against eHome. I think that's one of the important things. And honestly, S4 couldn't even see, couldn't see the heroes that were coming in, obviously. They popped Moonlight, and they can't see most of the other heroes because there were no sentries down on the far right-hand side where Loda was. So he either needs to carry Dust, or he needs to make sure that the rest of the team is fighting around him. Otherwise, he'll just get fighting again.
Nice slice into the pit. Alliance? Well, moving over with the pings, but eHome getting a position on the high ground, ready to fight. Oh, this could be painful for Alliance, jumping in! Two gone immediately on Alliance, and it may even be more again. Loda just goes for the BKB TPL, he's gonna make it. Ake on the other hand certainly isn't. eHome finding everything, and eHome down. This game proving to be even more brutal for Alliance than game 1, Andy.
Man, they are just relentless eHome. Like these Sand King initiations. That's 5 down.
Oh man. As people have said, eHome looking to be just playing like championship winners. And this series has been no exception. Alliance knew that they were going to have a tough one coming into this matchup. Did they know it was going to be as tough as this? Probably, after seeing eHome's performance at the group stage. But here we have game 2, eHome looking to do serious amounts of damage to Alliance's base. Mid's been cleaned up, they're looking towards the bottom. Maybe Alliance can have one more final start, and indeed they'll attempt it. S4 jumps in on time, Touch bringing him back, but already he's falling so low. Ake's gone, S4. He's trying to get himself back as well under the cover of BKB. eHome head back to hitting the tower.
Has fallen.
With a bit of mercy as they back up now. Alliance, can they punish this at all? CGM trying to get some sort of latch out. S4 does not have the lasso for this defense. But eHome, they're happy with the damage done. They back out. And Alliance, they certainly are a team that in the past have been able to bring back some very impressive games. This has got to be one of them if they need to hold in, because they are falling so far behind at this stage.
2 fights in a row, they just get completely massacred by eHome. Like, BKBs aren't even making much of a difference. The initiation is so good that you die before you can pop your magic item. Yeah, the fall off is fairly significant here for Alliance. They were at one point on even terms with the chorus of eHome. That is not the case anymore. I mean, they've only killed one tower in a 32-minute game with a lone druid. It just goes to show how much pressure eHome has been able to apply out of the map.
Dire's middle tower has
Alliance
fallen.
are feeling it for sure. They're already down that one set of racks, and the more I think about it, they're bear death. That's bear
Radiant's
death like
top
number 3 or
tower
4.
is under attack.
But Mirana is just so good against PA, because when you have Moonlight Shadow up, PA's specialty is chasing heroes. But if you have Moonlight Shadow and you don't have anyone around you with Dust or sentries, the PA is pretty useless, because even if you have great mobility, it doesn't matter, you can't freaking see anything. So for me, I feel like if you're playing against Mirana, it's mandatory that the PA herself has to carry detection, because the supports are not always going to be in a position to drop it for you.
eHome needs the raise tip. I'm pretty sure off the last 2 points Alliance. I'm going to look to head over there and fight around this area of the map. So eHome, granted the Aegis for themselves.
Sean has fallen to the
Straight
ground.
onto Old Chicken, and as you said, Old Chicken's Mirana performance has been absolutely brilliant, and the way that he's dealt with the way that Alliance jump in. You know, we've seen S4 comes in, grabs a hero, brings him away from the team, but immediately Old Chicken just jumps back in, and 11 episodes ago, immediately
Dyer's top tower
60
is under
seconds
attack.
out, just like that. Eho.
And with such a crisp movement, they like kill
Radiant's
the Rosh
middle
and just
barracks are
immediately
under
cut
attack.
towards middle lane because they know that it's pushed in, and then somebody is going
Radiant's
to have to
middle
address it.
barracks
Just
has
Ehome
fallen.
playing super well.
Disrupted or not, he wasn't dying there for sure. 3 dead on Alliance. Oda pops the BKB, but he doesn't quite know what he can do with it here, as he's just got to get himself back to the
Radiant's
fountain.
bottom barracks.
Alliance, 30 seconds before they have the final
Radiant's
order,
bottom barracks are
going
under
into the
Radiant's bottom
fountain here.
barracks.
Behold the oh, a loader. Oh, he's still probably going to die. Oh, did he find him? No. He managed to blink back. S4. Look at punish Old Chicken's positioning there. Alliance. Again. Still holding on to the game, but I mean, even if you can call it that, as Ehome just playing around with them now.
I just want to say, I don't think I've seen many games where Sven buys
Invisibility.
but
Bloodborne Sven.
I mean, if you're in this position and you're against a PA, it's not bad. And also the Radiance burn as well. Helps the rest of your team just be able to hit the hero. I guess considering the BKB is down to about 7 seconds now, it's probably not going to matter what he makes, honestly, just because they have such an advantage at this stage. It would take Ehome, like, going into the base, into the well, I think, for Alliance to win a team fight. Like, that's just how far behind they are right now. You need to, like, lasso somebody and pull them so far away from the rest of Ehome that they can isolate it and just kill it before the rest of them can follow it up.
Ehome ready to get the job done on the final lane. Formulate the push onto the tier 2. And it really is going to be Alliance's last chance to hold up some sort
Radiant's
of
top
defense.
tower is under attack.
Question is, how can Alliance find a jump onto a lineup like this where you essentially got a lineup where all
Radiant's top
5
tower
heroes
has
can
fallen.
react and play to save whoever gets gone on. Deep risk from Alliance in there as well. Blown up immediately, and there's no bear for 90 seconds. Hold 11. Just teasing there, see if we can get a latch. S4. We can get something here. Maybe look approaching, but Old Chicken. It's an Old Chicken. Kills off BGM. Feels like at this point, all it takes for Ehome is to just A-click the base, and the game can be won. Jumping in again. The real carry S4, gets the lasso off, but it doesn't matter, just dragging Ehome closer to Ake. Ake's down. Going in for even more, and then the whatsoever. GG! It was actually an immensely painful game for Alliance. Ehome! Another day in the office for them. Insane play, immaculate play. They just were not messing up today, Ehome. Everything was perfect.
Alliance gave them the heroes they wanted 2 games in a row, I feel. Like, sure, it's hard to ban against Ehome because they pick a lot of stuff, but the Sand King and the Mirana especially, like, those heroes have been seen throughout the group stage, and Old Chicken and Old 11 both. I mean, they played phenomenally throughout the series, and Fenrir's saves, positioning on the map was great. Alliance, I felt like they were just getting outmaneuvered a lot. The mobility of Ehome's lineup, I think, caught